Alright guys, thank you guys so much for being in this space and for coming through. You know, y'all are making this happen, so I want to take a good moment to make sure that we acknowledge y'all's presence. So please give yourselves a round of applause for being here. Yeah. My name is Héctor Marin, pronouns he, him, his. I'm an organizer within the city of Santa Cruz. I'm also an educator over at Harbor High. Shout out Pirates. Yeah, let's go, you know. And and also I'm a Latino organizer organizing with the Beach Flats Comunidad. We are here, the main intention of this space is to ensure that we all hear out one another and that we get to know each other's progressive organizations, our causes, you know, that we're doing to better ensure that we take care of our own comunidad, right? That's why we're here, and we want to ensure that we do this so we can all come out and so we can all support one another. That's the main goal, and if we are united under one front, then the people will have the power. Yes. All right, yes, let's go, let's go, para la gente. So we will have, so the main programming, I know y'all have been asking about this, about the programming. We're going to have folks, liaisons from their respective community organizations talk about the projects and about the stuff that they're doing for the community. There's going to be a 2-minute limit for folks to say their own piece. So please keep it as succinct as possible, as simple as possible, so we can have a lot of people, you know, say their mission. And also, we're going to be welcomed into a song of with our friend Lita. Lita's going to say an amazing song, so we can have a little grounding with one another.
We're going to sing together.
Yeah, we're going to sing together.
It gets us all on the same frequency, right?
Exactly. You know?
All right.
That's what's up. Come on, Lita. But most importantly, I also want to give a huge shout out to the folks who also helped out in the organizing of this event. Huge shout out to Amanda for also running the Visible. Amanda has did an amazing job in making sure that we cultivate this culture of unity amongst our organizations. So, you know, I'm giving my flowers, you know, my fragrance and flowers to, you know, Amanda. So, yes. Let's go one more time for Amanda, guys. Come on. And also a huge shout out towards Jeffrey.
Yes, Jeffrey.
And Karen.
Where's Karen?
Where's Karen at? There it is. So Jeffrey did an amazing job in making sure that we have as many organizations being involved. He also ran the table and he also grouped everyone together so we can have this meeting. And Karen was graceful enough to give us this space and to open her doors, you know, these doors within this awesome, within the Friends Meeting House to make sure that we all congregate with one another. And the main intent of this is finding common agreement, finding what we agree, and how can we further work on in doing this. I think Amanda also has the historicity of how the Info Share Council came to be, which is what this coalition is called. So if you want to take it off, Amanda, go for it.
Thank you. Hi, again, my name is Amanda Harris-Altice. I use she, her pronouns. I had a couple people ask about the history and how this group came to be. In a couple conversations with Jeffrey about, like, how about we form coalitions? And so this is not a new idea at all. And we don't necessarily consider it a coalition because we're trying to keep it as little work as possible for all the people that are doing already a lot of work. But it's a way to, like, break down silos. So somebody even asked me today how many people that I know that are in this room, and I was like, I think probably 85% of the people I know in this room. But how many of you all can say that? We should all know 100% of the people in this room at some point, because that's how we build our community power together. So last December at our first Indivisible meeting, we sort of tried to start this process a bit and invited in groups to table and talk and get to know one another. And then that kind of built. So I worked with Kathy over here from Surge, and we did a movement mixer at Abbott Square, and we had some groups there just to kind of get to know each other and connect and, like, what does your group do? You know, trying to share resources. You know, there's like a big need for technology help. How do you organize in a digital age? we can share that sort of stuff. How do we make sure that we're being anti-racist, like anti-capital, you know, that we're bringing that lens to all of our work together. So this is kind of an attempt to do that because we all are in alignment. I think we can all agree that we don't like fascism and don't want fascism. And I know that there are some groups that have polarizing views, but we've got to be able to figure out how to at least kind of meet together. So our second meeting was Jeffrey and I organized, and we were at the SEIU hall, and we kind of brought groups together that we both knew to kind of meet. And then, so that no one person, it falls on one person or organizations to organize, we decided to rotate. So Hector stepped up to rotate this next iteration, which is what you're attending here tonight. So we don't have necessarily a structure, we just called ourselves an info share council. So it's a very like informal, just like let's get to know each other and break down silos. So that's kind of the early stages, and that's what we're hoping to do here is to just be like, hi, my name's Amanda, and like, how can we work together, and what do you do, and when you have a thing come up, you can activate that call to that group. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. We do not need to reinvent the wheel. We are not, there's lots of ideas in history that we can pull from, lots of work, lots of history in the community and work in the community. So that's kind of what we're doing with this here today. So I thank you all for taking time out to be here with us, and I'm excited to hear what all the groups are working on, so I'll be quiet now. But yeah.
Let's sing.
Let's sing. Let's get
This is a really short song. I'm going to sing a line and you sing it back so we get it. Okay? Change never comes from the top. 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 It's hard-working people with justice on their minds. It's hard-working people with justice on their minds. That's made any changes that we got. That's made any changes that we got. Okay, can you do all that? Yeah. Change never comes from the top. No, no, no. Change never comes from the top. You know it's true now. It's hard-working people with justice on their minds. It's made any changes that we got. You know it's true now. Change never comes from the top. No. Change never comes from the top. It's true. It's hard-working people with justice on their minds. It's made any changes that we got. One last time. Change never comes from the top. No. Change never comes from the top. You know it's true. It's hard-working people with justice on their minds. It's made no changes that we got.
That was great. Thank you so much for the song. You know, it's really important to cultivate in song so we can have that unity together, and so we can be all harmonious. We got to make sure that we uplift one another through the medium of song. We also want to invite Jeffrey. So before we get into all the amazing speakers that are here to talk on behalf of their organizations, we want to give the mic over towards Jeffrey to also say a few good words, who has also helped organize this amazing event.
Well, I think time is short, and we've got a lot of people who are going to speak tonight.
Okay.
So I'm going to take my 2 minutes as the representative of Santa Cruz for Bernie. Santa Cruz for Bernie, we're piggybacking on this event by celebrating 10 years in Santa Cruz. And we helped get the Info Share Council organized, and we got 69 people here in this room tonight.
Let's go!
One of the best things that we can do is be working in politics. You know, and I know a lot of groups are not officially political, but we got to have good leaders, and Santa Cruz for Bernie can help in organizing for political change.
All right, thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, brother. All right, thank you so much, Jeffrey. Now we're going to begin the programming for the speakers to talk. We also we want to welcome Adam Spickler from and the Community Care, good folks from Community Care, to say their amazing piece. So, Adam.
Hi, everybody. I'm here in a political way, not as a politician, but as a member of a new group, Community of Care. My good friend Jen Hastings, who is a medical provider locally, is part of the Community of Care as well. We work with the Diversity Center to bring gender-affirming care providers together to talk about needs. I want to draw a bit bigger of a framework, quickly if I can. The LGBTQ community and the trans and gender non-conforming communities in particular have a couple of buckets of major concern because of the Trump administration that we want to share with all of you. First and foremost is we are slowly but surely losing access to gender-affirming care.
Yes.
At all ages, but particularly for youth. And that's where the Community of Care comes in, and I'm going to turn it over to Jen in just a moment. The other two buckets that I want you all to be aware of are the ways in which federal agencies like the State Department and the undoing of passport legalities and rights, the Justice Department and their ongoing efforts to criminalize transgender ideology as a form of terrorism. So if I were to be at a protest stopped by somebody, I could potentially wind up with a terrorist designation on my rap sheet. There are a number of scary things happening at the federal level that we're watching very closely as they tick up. I am now not suspect, that's the wrong word. I might wind up with my passport, which currently is legitimate, has an M for male gender marker on it. It might get invalidated by the State Department because of their constant rule changing and now the Supreme Court allowing that to move forward. The third bucket, which is terrifying a lot of us, is the really violent and harmful rhetoric and outcry from the MAGA right, white nationalists in our country, whether they are political, and that's happening in Congress and at a whole bunch of state and federal levels, but it's happening in communities all over the place, where harmful, incorrect, inaccurate messaging around trans people, who we are, what our rights should be, it's happening left and right. And I say all of that to simply ask that you, as allies, and I have to assume that everyone here is an ally to the LGBTQ and particularly trans community, need to start to be active in your allyship. I really need you to start speaking out. When you see on social media or in the news attacks on trans people, we're counting on you to respond to it with a absolutely not, that's not true. You probably know trans people, you don't realize they're trans, and everything you're saying about them is incorrect. We need to hear from folks. I'm going to stop there and turn it over for a few remaining seconds to Jen Hastings, who I will quickly introduce. Jen uses Jen as their pronouns, as Jen's pronouns, is a medical provider, started the trans health clinic at Planned Parenthood many years ago, and can talk a little more specifically around the plight around gender-affirming care.
So until this morning, as far as I knew, trans care in Santa Cruz County was safe. I got a phone call today that effective December 10th, our local and regional Sutter will no longer be providing trans care for youth under the age of 19. This is devastating, horrific, not okay. It is still legal, in fact protected. Our Attorney General, Rob Bonta, has been extraordinary in defending and stating to health entities, you need to continue providing care. So what we're seeing, unfortunately, not just in Santa Cruz, but around the state, is health entities saying they're too scared of what's happening, probably because of most likely of funding issues, that they will stop providing care. This is absolutely unacceptable, and our local PAMF actually is very supportive of trans care and would not have made this decision. They are beholden to their superior, which is Sutter. So this is devastating, and I'm very concerned. We will be coming to you for actions because we need to protest Sutter. Not our PAMF is like in our court and with us, but this is really frightening.
And the same will be happening with Dignity. Sure.
And Dignity is apparently, we understand they will be stopping care soon. So our federally qualified, I have time?
Yeah, time.
Shit.
You can say, you can finish what you're saying.
Much more to say, to say that in our community, we see anti-trans actions. We saw this at Cabrillo with our Trans Day of Remembrance. Signs were being torn down about the Trans Day of Remembrance. So just as Adam said, we're turning to you as some of you may be trans yourselves, but as our cis and trans allies, we need you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Jen and Adam. Let's go. Yes. All right, next up, we are going to hear from Cheryl from Santa Cruz Black. So let's go, Cheryl. If you would like to, you can understand where you're at. Huge round of applause for Cheryl. Come on, guys. Come on.
I am representing myself, but also Santa Cruz Black. I'm a co-founder of Santa Cruz Black, which is a small grassroots nonprofit. And our concerns are dismantling the invisibility of Black people in Santa Cruz, because we are just let me finish, please. 1.1%, which means if you gather 100 people, you're going to find one, maybe two. That's us. And so we're othered. When we're looking for metrics, we're othered, except for the pathological shit, like how many Black men and boys are in prison, how many are not going to college or finishing high school. Then we get the stats when it's going to point to how pathological Black people are. So so our big project is right now at this moment, the end of the year, we have the honor of being part of Santa Cruz Gives, because the project, and that will fund the Black Freedom Farm Garden Project, which will bring nutrition, handle food security. Again, I don't have the stats of knowing how many Black families are food insecure or food unstable. Won't know that, but it's also open for everyone. But it's like it's needed. It's needed here in this county with our current administration that's creating food instability, and we know what's going to happen. Adam could probably tell us what's going to happen with SNAP and how people have to prove that they're poor enough to get, and you have to work for it. Isn't that bullshit?
Yes.
Bullshit.
And that's going to happen also in December. So, but anyways, so we're at Santa Cruz Gives, and I don't know if anyone's able to, but you can find us. You know how to go to Santa Cruz Gives, and in their portal, and that's a big thing. Black Freedom Farm Project, and it's a mirror to what Fannie Lou Hamer did when she was running the Mississippi Black Democratic Party, when she knew she wasn't going to become. Are we at time? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. All right. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for sharing this amazing information, and it's important for us to involve people of color within the progressive cause. So thank you, Cheryl, for delivering that amazing message. Next up is Sarah Friedlander, who represents Artists Respond and Resist. So Sarah, take it away. Go, Sarah.
I'm going to take 1 minute because a lot of you know exactly what we do, which is that we've been organizing for 8 years to do art projects that will actually support all these causes that everybody else is working so hard on. And we do this. We've seen the giant puppets. I don't know if you saw the giant puppets at the parade. That was our project.
Yeah.
This summer. And we've done dozens of projects, whether it's creating protest signs or yard signs or making Ukrainian eggs for Ukraine, whatever it is. You can come to us, you can sign up to work with us, or you can just come to us if you have ideas that your organization or your cause could use some art.
Thank you so much for the amazing information, Sarah. Next up, we also want to welcome Amanda to the stage again to represent Indivisible Santa Cruz.
Hi again, Amanda. So I think most of you all are probably familiar with Indivisible Santa Cruz County. We've been around since 2017. Most notably, we did the No Kings March back in October, which I think was pretty successful. We're trying to continue to build on that movement and that moment to get ready for the midterms next year. So we're trying to kind of do a little reorganizing, and we have our issue team groups that are working really hard to uplift a lot of local issues, and we're working with groups like ARRT to kind of uplift those, like with the puppets. So we're doing a little bit of social justice, a little bit of electoral work. We do stuff all the way up to the state level. And we have the new session starting in January. Where's Faye? Faye is our liaison for State Strong, so we're part of a larger coalition across the, there's Faye. Part of a larger coalition across the state where we're doing advocacy work at the state level for priority bills. So our reach is, and we're trying to bring that back into Santa Cruz and how that can impact us locally, all the way from the state down, because the local is where it's really at. So we're kind of taking a little bit of time off right now, so, but yeah, that's us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Amanda. So guys. All right. Next up, we also want to, since we're on Indivisible, we're wondering if Indivisible Pajaro Valley is in the building. Indivisible Pajaro Valley? Over here? Doesn't look like it. All right. So next up, we're going to introduce Linda Marin from the Citizens Climate Lobby to also talk on the amazing works that the Citizens Climate Lobby is stating. So take it away,
You're
Linda.
the only person that is my last name correctly.
Oh yeah, and that's my name, sister Marin over here. So let's go.
Okay, I'm Linda Marin. I head up Citizens Climate Lobby in Santa Cruz, the Santa Cruz chapter. Citizens Climate Lobby is expressly non or bipartisan. We're not progressive, we're not conservative, we're not any of those labels, because we have to work with every single member of Congress for climate solutions. And so we, no matter what our own personal politics are, we have to figure out how to negotiate with every kind of ideology out there in our legislators. So I can tell you that Citizens Climate Lobby works particularly on federal legislation. Climate fee and dividend was the main one. But we also are focusing on state and particularly Santa Cruz issues. And right now, our focus is probably going to be, I'm sure it is, on the threat of oil drilling on our coast. So that's where we might be reaching out to you to sign petitions, possibly even show up for meetings. But in any case, that's what you'll be hearing about from us. Thanks.
Thank you, Linda. All right, guys. So next up, we have Amy Chen Mills from the from Moment of Truth and the Get the Flock Out campaign. So take it away, Amy.
And we have Julia
Yes, and
Monahan
Julia.
here. She's
Let's go, Julia.
Invisible as well.
Round of applause, guys.
The ad hoc coalition is called gettheflockout.org, and we have QR codes you can scan to sign up. We are the ones who have been behind the public records requests on the ALPR license plate scanners from the Flock Safety Company, and we have found that the police in Santa Cruz, Watsonville, and Capitola, we definitely have Capitola, we're assuming the same things about the others, have been sharing data outside of the state illegally, with ICE illegally. The Flock Company has been sharing with Customs and Border Patrol illegally. And now we're finding out that they're putting out, the data is being, the access to the data, we're just finding out, is being sold on the dark web. The cameras are hackable, they're not encrypted. People are like getting info right out of those cameras. Those are the ones out on the street that the police are using. We want to bring these cameras down. It's happening across the country where the cities are starting to vote them down. And this council is about to do that on December 9th. We need you to show up, email the Santa Cruz City Council and tell them we want to cancel the contract. Cancel the contract, not massage it, not work with Flock. The Flock guy has been saying that, you know, opponents are Antifa and opponents are terrorists. And so that's your Flock CEO right there.
The same day we had the last city council meeting, the cities of San Jose and Oakland were both sued over issues like these, including violations of the Fourth Amendment and data security and privacy issues. So if nothing else, maybe we can join across the political spectrum that we don't want to get sued as a city. And your data's not safe, and they're targeting migrants, and ICE absolutely has access to the database, so cancel the contract.
And it's a violation of your Fourth Amendment rights to not be tracked and searched without a warrant. We don't need any more of this without warrant business, right? This is a place where we can cut off a tentacle of the fascist octopus. Octopus. Yes, we're done, time-wise?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Come get the QR code.
Thank you so much, Amy. Next up, we want to give the floor towards Serge. Serge Santa Cruz, if we're in the building. Let's go.
Everyone, my name is Kathy Bass. I'm with Showing Up for Racial Justice, also known as SURJ, S-U-R-J. We're a national organization with local chapters. We mobilize, educate, and organize white folks to fight for racial and economic justice. So at the national level, there are a couple campaigns going on. The main one is to non-compliance, and hence why we're behind the Get the Flock Out and other non-compliant campaigns happening locally. And then our local chapter has a lot of things going on, like we have a Care Not Cages, so fighting new jails and pushing our budget to be to support mental health and housing and not police and new jails. Some of our members have gotten a redistributing white wealth happening. A Rainbow Defense Coalition. I think there's some Rainbow Defense Coalition people here. We have cultivating care for white folks to figure out why are we to work through our racism and get over it. And we often have study and action. So getting educated on why the country's the way we are and why the country is the way it is and how we as white folks have a responsibility to fix that. So that's it. Can I get all the SURJ people to raise their hands?
Let's go, Serge! All right, thank you so much, Serge. Serge is here, so thank you guys for pulling through. Next up, we also want to welcome and see if the ACLU is in the building. ACLU? Let's go! Let's go, Stacy.
Come on, Reese. Come on.
Hello.
Stacey.
We have a few things we're focusing on right now, mostly oversight and transparency of law enforcement agencies, and some of us are working on this model ordinance for any law enforcement agency adopting new surveillance technology. We want there to be a public and transparent process for any equipment that is used for surveillance. And we're, I don't know if Lee wants to say something about the California Commission. Is Lee still here?
Lee's here.
You want to say something about the California Commission on Sheriff Oversight?
We have a very good sheriff by my measure compared to the last one. Sheriff Clark is listing his assault rifles on his AB 41 report, which will come out in April, I believe. We found out that there's a program where the federal government is paying sheriffs to manage illegal aliens in their jails. And when you look at the last year that I saw data on, California got $79 million from the federal government for work with their jails. And when we told Sheriff Clark that, he looked in his budget and saw there was $80,000 in it, and he threw it out. He is no longer doing that. So this is the kind of sheriff that we want. But on the other hand, he will not stand up to ICE. No law enforcement agent will stand up to ICE.
All right, thank you so much, Peter. Appreciate it, too.
Let me just say one other thing
Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
ALPRs. The only way to protect the data from a license plate reader is not to collect the data.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Huge shout out to the works that y'all are doing. Next up, we want to invite, we're wondering if DSA is here. Any members from DSA? Yes? Right in front of me. Right in front of me. There it is. Yeah, there you go. Let's go, Phil.
Hey, everybody. Phil here from DSA. So we're working on a couple of things in Santa Cruz. Right now our big projects are labor organizing. You know, we're helping out with some labor unions that are getting off the ground. Just recently we helped the Woodstocks Workers Union get organized, and that's been going pretty well. We're out there assisting with Starbucks workers, you know, kind of fighting in solidarity with their Red Cup Day that they put together recently. But yeah, you know, we're sort of a broad political coalition. We've got other projects going on. Like right now, I'm personally helping to recruit for Santa Cruz Renters Union, which is a union of tenants in Santa Cruz, and we're hoping to, you know, get enough groundswell of support to like actually make some progress on some progressive legislation in the future maybe, but in the meantime just making people's lives a little bit better. When someone has a trouble with their landlord, we're there to back them up, give them that moral support, maybe, you know, legal support, whatever they need. So yeah, that's what we're up to.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you so much, Phil. And also, you know, amazing work with the Renters Union. Fun fact, we also have folks from the Neighborhood Organizing Circle who have led the previous rent control campaign. So I think that would be a good connection to have. And talking about the Organizing Circle, we want to invite the Organizing Circle to speak. So take it away, Josh.
Hi, my name is Josh Brahinsky. I actually wasn't sure why I was here. Because I'm mostly spending my time doing union organizing. But the Neighborhood Organizing Circle is a group that does canvassing, asking people how they want to change their neighborhoods. We've been doing that on and off for the past while. Right now, we're in the middle of a survey trying to answer the question, basically, if you build high-end housing, does that help? Does that create a housing chain, or does that just push up the market? And so we have a bunch of people doing surveying everybody who moved into the high-end housing downtown right now. So maybe we'll have an answer for y'all in a couple months, which would be really nice. And I think it's likely the answer will be that it doesn't. The chain theory doesn't work. So that's the main thing we're working on right at the moment.
All right. Thank you so much, Josh. Appreciate it, man. All right, guys. So next up, NAACP. Let's go, Maylene. Hey!
Hi, I'm Maylene. I was washing the beloved dishes.
Thank
I guess in my mind, I get civil rights is a perennial battle, but perhaps in 2025, maybe we feel it very keenly. So I guess that's all I have to say. That what do some people say about the ocean? You never turn your back on the ocean.
Is there anything the NAACP is working on that right now that?
By the way, I'm just an executive committee member, so I cannot speak for everyone. I'm just saying what's on my heart. So.
All right, thank you, Maylene. All right.
There will be an MLK March in January.
And yeah, MLK March in January. Please show out for this. Do you have something to share, Jeffrey, or?
Well, you mentioned Monterey Bay Central Labor Council.
Yes, the Labor Council. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. People don't know that the Central Labor Council is the union of the unions. The Monterey Bay Central Labor Council covers unions in Santa Cruz County and Monterey County. There are 80 different affiliated unions affiliated with the Labor Council, and there's probably 35,000 union members in these two counties, and it includes unions that are organized internationally, and some of the new unions that are forming, like at Woodstock and Verve Coffee and Starbucks, are not represented yet, but they will be as soon as they get a little more organized and maybe get a first contract, and they can be eligible. And of course, we know that unions, when people are unionized, their wages and their working conditions are better, and they provide living wages for their members. And so it's wonderful that we're connected with them. I'm a delegate to the Monterey Bay Central Labor Council through my affiliation as an SEIU member.
All right, thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate you. All right, guys, next up we have Restore Democracy. Is Restore Democracy in the building? Take it away.
Hi, we're an issue team of Santa Cruz Indivisible. Right now, we have two areas of focus. The first is defending the rule of law and the Constitution insofar as we can. And the second is investigating the inequality of wealth and income that led us to a situation where MAGA could take control. For the first, we worked on registering and getting out the vote for Prop 50. And we found an interesting thing, which is that it was mostly young people who are not registered to vote, who don't know how to register to vote, who don't know how to vote. It was really quite striking. We went up to UC and Cabrillo and we registered a lot of people. It's striking again that college students don't know how to register to vote and don't know how to vote. We're going to do election protection next year in a variety of different ways. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Restore Democracy. Next up, we have the Santa Cruz Welcoming Network. Is the Welcoming Network in the building? It don't look like it. Hopefully next time. Do we have Santa Cruz CAN, the Climate Action Network, in the building?
My name is Roland Sayer, and I'm representing Santa Cruz Climate Action Network. We've been around for a number of years. Currently, we're focusing on the campaign to establish a California law to set up a super fund to reimburse immediate victims of climate change effects caused by, of course, the oil and gas companies. The legislation is pending. It will start up again in January, and I'm afraid that not a whole lot of people know about it. So if you don't know about it, please talk to me. Go online, look under Make Polluters Pay, familiarize yourself with it. And we need a lot more awareness of this issue. Second issue that's really big, just recently, Trump in his eternal wisdom declared that he wants to drill for oil and gas offshore, including California, the natural parks, the national parks offshore, and we're fighting that. An ongoing big issue is plastics. We all have them inside our bodies. We don't know, nobody really knows what they really do, but they are really bad, and so that's what we do.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say one more time, make polluters pay. That's the name of the bill. All right.
Make polluters pay.
Make polluters pay.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Santa Cruz Climate Action Network.
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm from the Santa Cruz Friends meeting, and we're glad to have everybody here tonight. We had a great training on countering authoritarianism. We're currently working on a variety of things, one of which is we're concerned about the closure of day services. Yes. So if anyone wants to talk to me about that, we don't see a coalition of anyone coming together around that yet. And we're also concerned about NSPM 7, I believe, which is going to, it's a presidential order that targets faith communities and other select groups that we could be arrested for peaceful protest because of this presidential dictate. So we're concerned about that, and we hope the ACLU will help us fight that. Thank you.
And again, let's give another round of applause to Karen. She made this happen. You know. All right, thank you, Karen. So next up, we got the Valley Women's Club. Is the Valley Women's Club in the building? Micah, would you like to speak for the Sierra Club?
Oh, sure, sorry.
Yes.
This is an old friend, you know. The Sierra Club is it's an environmental group. It's totally grassroots, so it's run by its members and volunteers. Locally, we've been trying to stop the freeway widening and protect different forests and stuff. And then nationally, we're trying to stop climate change and close coal-fired power plants. We succeeded at that, and now they're trying to open them back up or permit more of them. So yeah, it's a great organization to get involved with if you just want to kind of like be a member and sort of hang out and see what's going on and not have to like always take leadership, whatever. It's very broad group. I'm also involved with trying to preserve the train and the rail and trail project, which is wobbling a little bit. And then I spend most of my time building low-income housing with a group called People's Housing. So if anyone wants to help with that.
Thank you so much, Micah. All right, guys. Next up, we have Palestine Solidarity Coalition to speak. So, Alan, take it away.
My name is Alan Fisher. I'm active with the Palestine Justice Coalition. And what I notice is that we all have really important issues, but the issue of militarism and the issue of imperialism that is branded into the bedrock of the culture of this country needs also to be addressed. So we're out there at Ocean and Water greeting the tourists coming into Santa Cruz on Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock. This is the Palestine Justice Coalition from 11 to 1:30, and we have these very large banners that say Gaza genocide made in the U.S., no to the occupation and apartheid system in Greater Palestine, Israel. And we really need support, and we're there every Saturday. You can usually find us on the Indie Bay calendar. I try to put something in there. And I wanted to say one quick more thing. We would like also to have Indivisible, to have an active presence in Indivisible. So we're looking for people to join the International Affairs Caucus in Indivisible. So I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ellen. So next up, we have Unhei from the Central Coast Coalition for Free Palestine. Take it away.
Yes, piggybacking off of Alan's wonderful words. Palestine is ground zero for all the horrible things that are happening here. It's been a laboratory for, well, I can name flock and ice raid and censorship and, lack of ability to travel and all the fascist maneuvers. But of course, over there, it's 100 times worse than that. It's been going on for over 100 years, 77 years of occupation, 20 years of total siege. And you might think that it's not as related because it's so far away. But, we have people in our Monterey Bay. We have a resident of Pacific Grove who has lost over 200 members of her family. And so we are doing everything we can legislatively. There's the Block the Bombs Act, and we're trying to get Congress people to give their money, the APEC money back. And there are other ways to keep Palestine on the radar, because what's happening to them is really speaks for humanity. Or the lack of humanity that's going on, because our taxpayer money is fueling all of this.
That's right.
Israel has gotten $150 billion,
which could be used here.
Okay. Yes, exactly. So it's just fueling the war and fossil fuel machine, and that's got to stop. okay? I know it's really difficult, but we have to keep at it because, you know, we're just destroying ourselves on this planet. There's a petition going around. If you sign it, your email address is on there. I don't know if I can put you on the email list. There's a 21 organization in the coalition, and so, you know, I'll put you on, and then if you don't want, if you're too overwhelmed, you can just let me know that you want to be off. But you know, we have petitions and rallies and everything going on, okay? And I will be doing a book talk in January 3rd at the Capitola Library for a book that written by the nephew of Rola Alaidi, the one who lost the 200 members. And so that's that. And check out the Santa Cruz Art League. There is a quilt that I did. I have a whole Palestinian collection of quilts, and that one is being shown presently at the Art League. Okay.
Thank you so much for that. One more Palestine. All right, guys. Next up, we have Jane Reed Pomerantz from Positive Disciplines.
Hi, I'm Jane. Back a generation or so ago, I was on the city council and mayor of Santa Cruz, and then went on to do work with Positive Discipline, which is an international organization. And we established a nonprofit here locally called Positive Discipline Community Resources. We offer parenting groups, we offer individualized coaching, we offer workshops in schools for teachers, and we've been teaching in the jails for many years. And it is a theory based on the work of Alfred Adler and Rudolf Dreikurs. And it's built, every relationship should be based on dignity and respect. So we are working to create mutually respectful relationships, no matter the size of the human involved, or the pet for that matter. But we are all working very hard to make sure that we can listen carefully, understand our own selves, and then communicate effectively so that we can look for a solution that will be benefiting the most people. So Positive Discipline is a fabulous approach, and you can Google it and check out what we have. We have downloadable tip sheets on our website, PDCRCC, because we're a whole Central Coast now. And they are wonderful things to pass on to your kids and their kids if you happen to have other people in your family that would be interested in finding joy in all relationships. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jane. All right, guys, next up is the Democratic Central Committee here.
There is, I would say right now, a progressive caucus of the Democratic Central Committee, and yeah, we should say I would say it's not terribly organized, but it could be organized better. And that's a result of, I think, Cindy Dawson's work in trying to recruit people like myself to run for the DCC, which I did, and surprisingly won a seat. And there are more progressives on the DCC right now than you would think. So my invitation to you is to communicate with your DCC members, communicate with myself, with Joy, with Amanda, and let us know what you want the DCC to do about, for example, Jimmy Panetta. Okay, or about the flood cameras, or about, block the bombs, or about anything. People don't use the DCC as much as they could, and if you want to talk to me more about this, please do after this, and don't forget, get the flock out. Come talk to me.
All right, guys, next up we also have Arts and Rebellion. Brent, please take it away. Let's go, Brent.
Hi, all. I'm Brent, formerly director of the Warming Center, if you remember the Warming Center program. So Art and Rebellion came into existence just as Trump was elected. Is really my motivation to fight my own anger and depression and feeling helpless. Being involved in activism, especially homeless activism, over the last 2 decades, it's been, I would have to say, for myself, dispiriting in Santa Cruz. And not a lot of really great wins. But I have a few personal examples where we really got that Luke Skywalker shot into the Death Star. And I believe creative resistance is one way to do it. Now, large movements of people create power, but also sometimes very small acts of creativity can really explode and captivate the public's attention and really make a lot of impact, especially in Congress. One example for me was the old-time American flag burn, where I believe we had some effect in the fact that it is still legal to protest your nation by burning the flag. We did that in 2005, 2006. It was covered by Tucker Carlson and Brit Hume and Hannity. Anyway, so we meet every second Monday at 6 p.m. We have our own clubhouse, our own meeting space over by the new New Leaf across the bridge. And we are engaging in street theater. We recently protested PacSci over in Hollister. They're making components of some of the large bombs that are dropped in Gaza. Almost nobody knew about it, so we dressed as clowns and gave a press release and went there and had a protest. Whereas if we went as angry protesters, it would have been met with lots of resistance. Maybe that's what we needed, but we really wanted to bring attention to the fact. So we're finishing up Creative Resistance, Art and Rebellion. Find us on Instagram or Facebook. And I have a bunch of pamphlets here if you want to know the history of Creative Resistance, who our inspirations are, and what we're planning in the future. Thank you.
So next up, we also have Kersha from Housing for the People. So take it away, Kersha.
Hi everybody, my name is Kersha Durham. I was part of a team of people that organized Housing for the People that became Measure M. And we had about 7,000 people during the summer with UCSC students not here signed to get it on the ballot. And basically it was focused on these new buildings, like not including and still not including with Measure C, enough affordable housing for local workers and guaranteeing that essential workers like teachers like myself, I'm very aware that we cannot staff our schools, our hospitals, because we do not have affordable housing. But my main core issue for my life is really zero population growth. Zero population growth has now become population connection. There used to be one of the largest groups here in town, and I'm trying to revive that because as an environmental activist, I feel like the earth is a finite island. We have limited resources, and we need to look at human reproduction because we do not have unlimited resources to go around. And the level of living, the style of living that we're having here, as people of privilege, our consumption is so high that the earth cannot sustain that, and especially now because we're about to be 9 billion people. And that has gone up, in my lifetime from 1 billion to 9 billion. And it's doubling, with people who have more than 2 kids. It will double. So I'm really, if you're interested in population issues, please talk to me because I'd like to revive the group and the interest in keeping in balance with our resources and having sustainable, have those discussions that are difficult often about, having 0 to 2 kids and celebrating that. And celebrating women who are child-free.
Thank you so much, Kersha. Appreciate you. All right, guys. So I'm wondering if K-Squid's in the building. K-Squid?
Many K-Squitters.
Let's go, K-Squitters.
Okay, there's so many of us, community radio. We know probably between all of us, everybody in this room, if you have a story you want told, you want the community here, contact us at ksqd.org. One of us will cover your organization and uplift your message. And thank you for being such an amazing and inspiring community. Anything else you want to add, Amy or Superstar?
If there are a bunch of people, I'd say just raise your hand if you're with KSQD.
Nice.
Hey.
Wow.
Yeah, and so if you have a story to tell or an important community issue to share with the community, talk to Amy, talk to Christine, talk to Chris Crone, talk to Mei Ling, talk to me. Even Joy. Talk to Joy too.
Okay.
Joy might relay a message over to us. Yes, KSQD is your community voice.
phone number on the door, so anybody on the way out, just like text me if you want.
Shout out K-Squid. K-Squid presente. Let's go.
Yeah,
Take it away, Brent.
so I'm part of Santa Cruz PRT, that's Personal Rapid Transit, and we're promoting an alternative form of transportation for Santa Cruz to Watsonville. It's basically a way to have good transportation without a $4 billion train. So I'll leave it at that because we're short on time.
Thank you so much, Brent. Let's go. All right, guys. Next up, we also have Raul Ureña. If people don't know, Raul Ureña is the first transgender mayor of Calexico, and we are fortunate to have Raul here. They're now studying at UCSC, so take it away, Raul.
Hello everybody, I'm so happy to see everybody here. I've come back to Santa Cruz for my education. I am the first transgender Latina mayor in this state. But also more importantly, and the reason that I am here is because I am representing you in the Progressive Caucus of the California Democratic Party. So my Democratic Central Committee people over here, something's going on in Generation Z, something's going on with the millennials. That engagement is not there. And we have a tough future ahead of us. So I am humbled by everybody here who has been in activism and decades of activism, still looking out after us. It's up to people like Hector, people like myself, people like all of us, to make sure that we revive that spirit, keep that wisdom of activism alive, because we are going to make transformative change. There's no other way to live on this planet unless we get this shit done.
Gracias, Raul. And I know we had Sean Doherty's campaign here for a cool minute. Is Sean Doherty's campaign still here, or Sean Doherty himself?
I think they maybe had childcare challenges.
Oh, okay.
But there's flyers on the table over there. If you want an alternate to Panetta, Sean is running Green Party.
Yes.
He needs a little more than that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I feel.
So, Sean, he ran last time, and he ran, with hardly any support, and he did that to create a foundation for this campaign. And now he's very much more organized, very together, but he really also needs our support. Yes. So, that's really where we need to go, is replacing Panetta and having a true progressive representing us. And even if he doesn't win this time, he's still doing the work of making the foundation for next time, but we have to really bump him up this time. So please, make yourself known to Sean.
Thank you so much, Linda. So, and also, Sean for Congress. Oh, yes, SeanForCongress.org. And yes, go for it, friend. Take it away.
My name's Louisa. I'll speak for YAR unless there's someone here who can do a better job. I'm fairly newly active with YAR, but I wanted to at least bring it to your all attention. We're the local rapid response network. We've got a hotline, staffed 24 hours a day. We do verification of rumors of ICE and legal observation when ICE is present. And we've got community defense lookout groups that are patrolling neighborhoods and standing watch at important events, and we can always use more volunteers if people want to, but definitely a good thing to know about, and talk to me if you want to know more.
Can I tag team on that?
Yeah. Take it away.
I'm one of the team leaders of, we've rebranded Lookout Groups, because we don't actually do any defense with YAR. And we are looking for more people for lookout groups, to be on call as legal observers and verifiers, and to do patrols and outreach. So the next training, this is really the only way in, is to do the training. So if there's any way you can make it, the next training is Saturday, December 6th, 1 to 3 p.m. You have to make the pilgrimage to Watsonville. You can do it. I have faith in you. I did it. It's great. And it's been some of the most rewarding service and meeting just some amazing people. So if you're interested, talk to one of us.
Where in Watsonville?
You find out when you register, but yeah.
So where do we register information?
Yes, I have a QR code, or you can just go to the YAR link on the Indivisible Santa Cruz County webpage. Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Huge shout out to Yar, so round of applause for Yar.
Jeffrey and I talked about whether this was an organization. I just want to say that I'm running a Substack that is including all the data that's coming out about the flock cameras, ALPRs. It's called Moment of Truth Dispatch. And a lot of the data you're seeing in the local news came out first in this Substack. So please subscribe, just stay tuned with what's happening on that and other things that are happening in the community. And you can write for me if you want to. So let me know if you want to write something for the Substack on your issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy. So, all right, guys, so we're at time right now. Thank you guys so much for coming through and for being here. Karen has something to state.
It's great having you all here.
Yes.
Kudos to Hector for organizing
All right, mil gracias comunidad. Shout out to all of you guys, and thank you guys for coming through. And I urge you guys, if there are 3 people that you don't know in this room, please connect with those individuals that you don't know, so we can all get to know one another. The purpose of this event is to cultivate a culture of unity. Hopefully, this is the beginning of something beautiful for all of us. Thank you so much. Gracias. Thank you guys.